Good afternoon. Well, here in South Africa, it's a wonderful, warm Friday afternoon. I think it's about 32, 33 degrees, so a little bit too warm, but yeah, and early spring too. So I hope you're having an amazing Friday and looking forward to your weekend as well. And I thought I'll just do a short Facebook Live, as the other day we were working internationally on a youth program. And there was 4 values in there, which my dear friend Jesus Ortiz from Colombia has written together with Bernie Torrance from Global Priority Solutions. And as Global Priority Solutions Specialist, I had the privilege being part of this rollout, if you like. And I was the facilitator on the subject of identity. And what came out of there is, who am I? Now, that is maybe a silly question, and maybe one we don't answer very easily, and maybe you cannot answer that. And it's not what we do. I mean, you are not just the plumber, the joiner, the welder, the professor, whatever job you do. No, that's what you do. Do you really know who you are? Now, I also work as a behavior analysis consultant and trainer using the DISC profiling. And it's very interesting when in there it says we are all different, but we're all predictably different. And this talks into your behavioral style, not the person you are, but your behavioral styles. And even there, people have no idea how they communicate differently. They know some people actually upset them. I was going to say something different, upset them every now and then, or they don't get on with people, but they don't know why. And that sometimes has to do with your behavioral style. And there is many combinations and many assessments that can be done to find out what yours is. And we also have different character strengths. I just did a character strength assessment the other day, which is a little bit different than the behavioral styles, but there is overlaps there. And then there is also learning styles. My wife, Dr. Arthur Moore Roberts, is an absolute specialist in diversity, equity, and inclusion, but also part of it she uses the learning styles, visual, audio, and kinesthetic. Which way do you learn? So if you want to really connect with other people, we need to get to know ourselves first. And I think that should make sense. So can we become more aware of who we are? Could we have a look in the mirror and ask that question to the person on the other side? Who are you? Who am I? And begin creating some of these statements. In this, for the young people who are going to go through that program, one of the tasks was go and ask 3 people around you that you like and trust. If you don't like them, they'll also tell you who you are. But on the positive note, who go to these people and ask them who they think you are, and use that information to put something together. You know, are you? I am a motivational speaker. I am a leadership training. Even what I believe in, and I've got a power statement that says, I believe in a world where people are inspired to use their voice and lead rather than suffer in silence and follow. Now, even that says a little bit about me, because I'm into leadership development, and I also love to help people use their voice, because we've all got a voice, we've all got a story, and believe it or not, this is your time. So, I love to help people with that. I need help myself as well, but I'm always getting help. I'm always developing myself, because who we think we are, is that always dependent on us, or do we believe other people? Les Brown said a long time ago, don't ever let other people's opinions of you become your reality. And I think I'm going to repeat that. Don't ever let other people's opinion of you become your reality. And what kind of person are you when something bad happens to you? Again, I love my friend and mentor Les Brown. With another quote I used the other day as well as a facilitator. I said, well, whenever you fall when you fall down, make sure you fall on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. What are you staying down for? Is it because you don't know yourself? Don't you know your inner strength, that you have it all within you? We have it all within us. That bad things happen sometimes, and it is how we are reactive people, most of us, and we need to go to responding. For another day, I'll do that the next time. But we need to start responding from within, Because we know, what happens around us and what happens to us is not as important as what happens within us. But if we don't know who we are, that's where the biggest struggles are. Who are we? What are our challenges? What are we needing healing from? Because, we have a values-based leadership program where people connect at the heart level, and it changes everybody who gets involved with it. But there is also something in there that, people need to start connecting with themselves. People need to start connecting at the heart level with other people, because many people need healing. Many people are suffering in silence. So we need to start speaking up, and these groups become safe havens for people to start speaking up, and by speaking up what their challenges are and some of these different values like forgiveness, restraint, respect, hope, connecting, developing people. There is so many of these amazing values, but when people start to connect, it's not just about the value, it's the fact that we start connecting in small groups with other people. It is all about sustainable personal development. But let me ask you again, who are you? Are you, you can be a wonderful people person. I am a wonderful people person. I am connected. I'm a bridge builder. I am a connector. I am impacting people by changing their mindsets. I'm just giving you a few ideas, but who are you really? And I just want you to think about it and take that into the weekend, that sit down by yourself, and maybe one of the exercises is, first of all, get a pen and paper and start writing down I am at the bottom, because I think I am the one, and whatever it is, but you are the one. You are worth something because you matter. But you need to find out who you really are. And once you really know who you are, then, because we can't do more than we think we can. We are more than we think we are. But we need to start somewhere, so we need to find that out first. What is your identity? What is your true identity? Are you hiding? Are you running away from your own identity? Are you running away from your light? And I could have done Williamson's poem, but again, I'll leave that for another time. But it's basically not our darkness that most frightens us, it's our light what usually most frightens us. So I want to leave that with you. And also, when you do that, have a look in the mirror. Look yourself square in the eyes for about 5 minutes without saying anything, and see how uncomfortable that gets at first. For me, I couldn't. I was looking away and looking up every now and then and smiling nervously. But when you do that, and then become calm within yourself and ask yourself that question, because you only get answers to the questions you ask. And like what happens around us now, many more people need to become more creative in their research. Many people need to start asking some better questions, because don't follow the narrative. Question everything. Bring that curiosity back. The curiosity you had as a young person. And you know, I'm talking a long time ago. Now everybody wants to become coders and all this kind of thing. We wanted to become firemen, and we wanted to go to the moon, and we wanted to do all these kind of amazing things. Which were amazing at the time. They're still fairly amazing, I think. But we all had that creativity, and it got stamped out of us, and we're helping with that stamping out. But we need to open ourselves up again. Don't just follow blindly in everything. See, one of my passions is to create mindset change. Now, that doesn't mean that what I say I want to force upon you. No, how do I want to do that? By education, by bringing different perspectives. I've done that for the last couple of years, and people have called me names for it, but hey, if you want to keep everybody happy, sell ice cream. And even then, not everybody's happy, but I know what I stand for. And I stand. I'm not on my knees for a lot of these things. You know, somebody said the other day, I would rather die on my feet than live the rest of my life on my knees. He knew what he stood for. And it doesn't matter how you are, but when I say a mind change, not everybody will change their mind, but at least give some consideration to the other side. And what I mean the other side is, like, for a narrative that's going around, if we only know that narrative, we don't make an informed decision. Yes and no is not an informed decision. No, we need to find another side, and maybe 2 or 3 sides. And when we find all this, we can consider this. We can discuss this like normal human beings rather than fighting because we want to be right. When you know who you are, you don't need to be right. When you know who you really are and what you really live for, you don't need to fight with other people. You can accept them, and if they can't accept it and they need to be right there, because the difference between a discussion and an argument is motive. Now, if you've got a motive just to spread a different perception, it is so different than if you have a motive to just be right, regardless. You know people who are like that. I know people who are like that, and I don't discuss things with them. I just let them be. Live and let live. We don't have to fight with people, but we should be able to voice our concerns in this day. If you voice your opinion in social media, you get knocked out of it. But we should be able. It's our freedom to choose, our own attitude. Viktor Frankl said that in his book Man's Search for Meaning. If you never read that, read that, because there is meaning in all of us. We all have a purpose. Find out who you are. Make it something you can do. Take some time out in the weekend to really sit down. Maybe have a discussion with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with some family friends. But find out who you are. And when you find that out, you're going to start growing. Because when you know who you are, you're going to start believing in yourself. You're going to start talking with more conviction about those things, regardless what other people say. So don't let other people influence you negatively. Don't let other people's opinions become your reality. Find out who you are and say, I am the one, because I know you are the one. Take care and have a wonderful, amazing weekend.